Hi guys, Ben here with a very non-metal update this week. Yeah, I've not done a video for a couple of weeks, but I thought it was time to do sort of just a sort of collection update video. Yeah, for some reason a lot of stuff I've picked up isn't exactly very metal, so this is a very non-metal sort of like recent pickup video. You know, there's been some stuff I've wanted to pick up. I think the new Skeleton Witch I've been digging, you know, the new Deathhaven album and stuff like that, but yeah. I'm going to do a sort of best of video because we've just passed the sort of like half year mark of the year. I was planning on doing sort of my 5 top favourite albums of the year so far, heavy metal albums, but yeah. I thought I'd just start quickly by doing a sort of just quick update video on stuff that I've been enjoying recently, and it's not, like I said, not very exactly metal albums, but they're metal albums that I've just sort of enjoyed really, sort of indie rock and that kind of stuff. Just a sort of few recent pickups I picked up cheap or just, you know, fancy listening to for a bit of a change really. Let's start off with the new Gorillaz album, the Now. Again, these guys are a bit of sort of just, yeah, I don't know, I just really enjoy listening to these guys. I've always been a big fan of sort of Damon Albarn's sort of like, you know, output, whatever he does. You know, I was a big fan of Blur as a kid, you know, because my mum listened to them. So I thought I'd just pick this up, and I heard the track Humility, and I just thought it was a great sort of experimental pop track, you know, and it's more up there. This is sort of a bit more of a throwback to classic Blur. Classic Gorillaz, sorry, but, you know, not quite so rappy. There's a rap song on there for Snoop Dogg, I believe, which isn't actually too bad to be honest, but yeah, it's more like classic Gorillaz, the stuff that come out, you know, like Humility sounds like it could be on the first album or Feel Good Inc. So yeah, just good experimental pop really, and I just thought because it's summer it's nice to listen, you know, listen to something that's a bit poppier, a bit sort of lighter, you know, and just give me a bit of a break, you know, from bands like Slayer, which of course, you know, I love, but you know, you need a bit of a break from that kind of stuff every now and then. This was a bit of a sort of just impulse buy really. I saw it in my local square, my local record shop, Square Records in Wimborne, and I had to pick it up really just because it was sort of yeah, I just, you know, I've listened to a lot of metal recently. It's nice to listen to something that, you know, it's got good guitar playing on, catchy choruses. And I heard the single from this, and it was very sort of Joy Division-y, you know, and I heard another one that was a more sort of jangly pop, sort of like 60s tune, more akin to the likes of George Harrison, that kind of stuff. And that's a new Johnny Marr album called The Comet. I think this is like a Purpley edition vinyl, Warner Bros. Record, good heavy pressing. But yeah, like I said, I heard the song, what's it called? I'm just trying to find the song. Tracers, that's it, The Tracers. It's got that very sort of Mancunian, sort of like late 70s post-punk song, post-punk sort of vibe about it. It sounds very Joy Division-y, you know, very, but with Johnny Marr singing. So there's a lot of experimentation on this for sort of like, you know, this sort of straight up indie rock release, and of course being Johnny Marr, the guitar playing is brilliant. You know, I wasn't exactly, you know, I like the Smiths, but I'm not a massive Smiths fan. I wouldn't go out and buy everything they've ever done. But you know, the song Hi Hello was released as a single, and I like that because it sort of reminded me of sort of George Harrison, sort of like, you know, late Beatles kind of stuff, very sort of 60s jangly pop. So, but yeah, a good summary sort of release, plenty of experimentation, fucking superb guitar playing as always. As I saw it in the shop, I just thought, you know, I've been listening to a lot of thrash death metal recently. Something that's sort of got, you know, great playing on it, but I need a bit of a break from. So yeah, worth checking out if you're a big fan of sort of just sort of like good, well-written, thinking man's indie rock really. Great, you know, the Tracers, great indie songs, some great acoustic playing on this as well. So yeah, highly recommend it if you need something a bit, you know, alt rock, just to give you a bit of a break from metal really. I've been playing a lot of bass recently, and a band that I've always sort of loved is Joy Division. I've always listened to them on YouTube or Spotify. I realised that I've never actually gone out and got their albums, so I was walking around HMV, and so they had both, you know, both their sort of main release CDs, because I think everything else was released on EPs. yeah, they had both their albums sort of released in the 2 for 10 section. So I thought, well, you can't. Everyone's got to have this in the collection. So I bought Unknown Pleasures in the 2 for £10 in HMV. Probably get it cheaper than this. Probably get it for £3 in supermarkets and what have not. But I wanted to listen to it that day, so I saw it with Disorder and the 2 for £10 offer, and I thought, why not? But yeah, brilliant album. You can see why it's a classic. Really, sort of 10 out of 10 album. If you're a good fan, big fan of that sort of post-punk late 70s sound that sort of inspired industrial bands. You can hear what an influence these guys really had in sort of like later prog metal bands, sort of harder experimental indie bands. Especially songs like She's Lost Control, Disorder, Transmission. I think it's on this album. Time flies listening to it. It's just filled of, fantastic bass playing. Pete Hook's bass playing inspires me anyway. I'm thinking about doing a couple of covers and maybe She's Lost Control, Transmission. Probably one of the most inventive bass players of all time, especially from Britain. So yeah, you can't really go wrong for this. If you're a big fan of post punk, you've got to have this in your collection, really. Of course, last but not least, I had to buy its sort of counterpart and this Closer. I don't really think this album gets the recognition it deserves, because obviously Unknown Pleasures was the sort of first release in 1979. This came out only like a year later, maybe. Bands released stuff really quick then. But I think this album's just, just as consistent as Unknown Pleasures, but because it wasn't as new their sound, it wasn't sort of as groundbreaking. And unfortunately, I think it was released just after Ian Curtis died, committed suicide. I'm not quite sure when it was released, but it was around that time, I think just after he committed suicide. But I think he had all the artwork and everything lined up. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of bass at the moment, and this has got some of my favourite Joy Division songs of all time. Isolation, fantastic fucking bass track. It's a simple bass line, but iconic bass line, really great song. And 24 Hours, I think, is one of the best Joy Division songs they ever wrote. Really, if you can hear what an inspiration it had in sort of future bands, from in the 90s when they were trying to rip off that late post-punk industrial sound. What a fucking fantastic bass line. But yeah, fantastic artwork. Unfortunately, this is just a 1992 release. The artwork's sort of on its side. There you go. Picture of a tomb or something. But yeah, they did have a reissue of this 2007, but the artwork's been turned, so it's the right way round. But it wasn't in the 2 for £10, unfortunately. I couldn't really justify spending the extra £5 or whatever on the same album just because the artwork's been turned around, basically. And they remastered it, but this is the original master anyway, and it sounds good enough for me. So yeah, that's Joy Division Closer. Again, if you like Unknown Pleasures or post-punk, that late 70s sound, give it a go. Just don't neglect it for Unknown Pleasures, because in my opinion this is just as good. It just didn't quite get the recognition it deserved before he turned into Joy Division, New Order, sorry. Right, that's been my recent pickups. I'm planning on doing a sort of top 5 metal albums of this year, which I'll probably do in my next video. But yeah, it'll be like albums that are my favourite from Jan till sort of June, the first half of the year. And I'll probably, there's a few albums I might pick up as well, sort of after this. New Death Haven's been out, New Skeleton Witch album is out, Devouring Light is out, fantastic fucking album. And there's a few other releases that have sort of gone under the radar, not quite mainstream releases, but great sort of prog metal, a couple of doom metal albums. So yeah, like and subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what albums you've been listening to, and I'll see you soon. Bye.